Okay, so I'm currently in school, so I'm on my laptop rather than my home computer. So the microphone on the laptop is obviously not as good as the microphone I have at home, so it might sound a little bit peculiar, but it is me who is speaking. So this is the spreadsheet where you guys are up to so far. Hopefully you're at this stage, so you have your colors in and you now have all of the data entered, which is brilliant. The next thing we need to look at is this is now doing the kind of the sums, okay? So obviously to get this figure of 1860 here, the person added up these three columns here. So 60 plus 800 plus 1000 is 1860. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a formula in here that is equal to the three things added together. So remember, that's just the sum formula. So we can drag that down, and then if I close the bracket and I hit enter, it does the tallying up for me. Okay, so 1910, and it's after increasing because of this extra 50 euro here in Megan's wages. So now I can now drag this across horizontally and it should do those three things for me. Okay, which is really handy. So I don't have to do that formula each time. The spreadsheet looks after that for me. If I come down here and we're going to add all this up, it's going to equal. Again, we're going to use sum and start bracket, and we're going to go from here and we're going to drag it down to there. So we're not using the kind of the black cross drag, we're just using kind of dragging it as in we're highlighting those boxes. It's a bit harder to see when we've put colors in, all right. And again, I can now drag this horizontally. So rather than me having to do it each time, and every time I like to just check that it's working out for me. So when I add 606 and 20 together, I do get 626. So everything is working quite nicely. I might try and scroll down. Not too far, but maybe to there. Okay, and we're going to do the same in here. So that's equal to sum, start bracket, and we're going to add up these four cells here. Okay, so it's not just the three cells with the numbers in it, but it's all four cells. It just happens to be that there's a value of 0 in this one. And this was 470, yeah, that's good. Okay, and again, I can drag this horizontally. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with this thing here. I'm going to do equals sum, start bracket, and it's starting here, and we're adding up those four cells, close bracket, enter. I don't think you have to close the bracket, but I like to do things the way I like to do things. And then we can drag this across, and that gives us what we need in there. That's pretty nice. Now, to get our total expenditure, so that means it's basically every sort of expenditure that we have is going to go in here. So we're going to add up this, this, and this, okay? So we're going to go equals sum, and rather than kind of highlighting a group of boxes, we're going to put that, and then we're going to put in a comma, then we're going to put that, then we're going to put in a comma, and we're going to put in that. And then I close the bracket and I hit enter, and it does it for me, okay? So let's see if it works if I drag this across. Spreadsheets are quite smart. They can do the job for you. Is that correct? So 800 and 670, that's 1451. Yeah, 1521, is that right? Anyway, yeah, it looks about right, okay? So I'm happy enough with that. So that's pretty good. Now, our net cash, so let's scroll down a bit more. Sorry, I'm working on my laptop, as you know, and it's causing me, because I'm on the trackpad rather than the mouse. so it's a bit more complicated. So I might go about there. Okay, now, how did they get this 407 here? Okay, well, to get that 407, you come along and you take this figure away from this figure here. Okay, so in that month, that's what we take in and that's what we spend. So in there, I'm going to put in equals this minus this. I hit enter and I get my net cash. Okay, and I'm going to do that for the other two cells. Okay. I wonder if I drag that across. Okay, so what I did there was the way I put this in was that this cell here equals this cell here, D30. Okay, and I'm now spot that I have a formula in there, so I can now just drag that across, I think. And it does all the work for me. Okay, so I'm going to spend effectively negative 85 euro this month, but I'm going to bring in 526 euro, which means I'll have 441 euro in my bank account at the end of that month. Okay, and then that 441 is brought forward into the next month. In the next month, I save loads of money. I spend very little because I earn my profit, effectively my profit, my excess income over expenditure is 549 euro there. Okay, so you can see that the family's bank account is growing and growing and growing each month. Okay, so it was down at 119 there, but it's now up to 1484. So that's very, very healthy looking. So I'm going to leave it there. Tomorrow we will look at getting this total column in, and then that will effectively be us done. And we will have to go back all over this stuff again when we're doing face-to-face teaching next week. But yeah, if you guys can get that done, it means we can pretty much take it handy for the rest of the year, really, because this is there's a huge key assignment part that this project here will be part of. Okay, so I will leave it there, and hopefully I'll see you next week, and we'll look at this total column tomorrow. So I'll see you guys.